I would say the key drivers for engagement at Brookfield is, maybe threefold. First, I would say it's really driven by our clients, both public and private. Many of them have set ESG targets of their own and made various commitments, and therefore they're very eager to understand our approach and how we can help them achieve their targets. And therefore, I would say it's a much more regular topic of conversation when we are engaging with investors, again, both on the public and the private side. Secondly, I would say the nature of our business, the way we operate and invest just prompts conversation. We own a globally diversified portfolio of renewable assets. We own ESG friendly assets within our infrastructure business, our real estate business, and even within private equity. And therefore, it just prompts conversation. When you have a good story to tell, a good track record, and it's ingrained in your culture, it often comes up in conversation, and therefore it's something we engage in a lot. And lastly, we have obviously designed specific products that prompt the conversation and engage investors. A classic example for us, and most recently, is the Global Transition Fund that we've just launched, which is being headed up with Mark Carney on board. And I think having that product, which is clearly going to help our clients achieve their objectives or partly achieve their objectives, that engages investors and prompts conversation. So I'd say that's the three key things for us in that regard. I think just the fact that it's so deeply ingrained in our culture really enhances the quality of all of our conversations. All of our people think that way. When you own long-lived assets and you invest for the long term, you're always focused on A, creating value, but B, protecting value and protecting the downside. And therefore, you have to address all risks and manage all risks. And that means that ESG has just been part of the way we operate our business in communities and the way that we look to create value. So I think having it ingrained in the culture, we're already thinking about it. We already have people that are passionate about it. I think that just enhances all conversations. Secondly, I think actions are important. So in our organization, we're looking to align with TCFD standards. We signed up to Net Zero Asset Management Initiative. We're parts of things like A4S, trying to help advance the agenda and the disclosure and reporting. We had Mark Carney join the organization as head of sustainability and ESG investing. And we're raising a specific fund. So I think it's actions, that really enhances the quality. And three, we have proactive touch points. We are proactively doing things to engage investors around ESG. We are I'd say a market leader, definitely in the alternative asset management space, of issuing green bonds and ESG linked financings. And that engages the capital markets around ESG on a regular basis. And we do it with our investors, both public and private. So I think those are probably the top three things for us that really enhance the quality of the conversation. I think we do things that force the integration, like we issue an annual ESG report. So we put out a report once a year at BAM and in our subsidiary businesses. And that obviously forces engagement and is a good form of disclosure and a document to have around conversations and educate people on what we're up to. But I think what's really important is that we make sure all of our people are up to date with what's going on in the organization. We have education sessions, we have teach-ins, and we make sure that finance is becoming a lot more integrated and investor relations a lot more integrated into the ESG process. I think our organization, like others, ESG was being the, scope 1, scope 2, scope 3 measurement and tracking, and all the other initiatives that were going on in the organization were being run outside of finance. And that's fine, and they're being run at a high standard. But now we're getting to the point of educating the market, telling the story, having almost a central database of record for public reporting as it starts to make its way into our public disclosure. Finance has to be intimately involved in that process and has to be educated on what we're doing and be part of the process. And I think that is crucial. I think integration is key. I think it has to be integrated and embedded into your culture. I think it has to just be part of the way that you think. I think finance has to be integrated and embedded in the process. And I think if you have those two things, then you've got a great start. And I think you have to have people that are passionate about this. Like, this is a very important topic for investors. It's a very important topic for the world. And I think it has to be taken very seriously. And I think it's something that we should be encouraging all of our people. I know specific to finance, but all of our people to take a proactive interest in. And I think that's, you know, just the first step of ensuring you can be successful in this area.